Hey guys, what's up? It's Car9TCG here with my much requested Invoke Prank Kids build. This is my personal go-to build for this deck. I feel like it works really well and you have so many backup strategies that you're usually really fine with how your hands are, even if they're slightly bricky, because there's always something that you can do. So let's go ahead and talk about the main deck really quickly. So obviously it is an Invoke deck, so let's get it off the bat and just say we have 3 Alistair, the Invoker, searches on Invocation, that is your polymerization for this deck, it is recyclable, and that is dope. Now let's talk about the Prank Kids. That is the only Invoke monster we run in terms of main monster, obviously. I played 3 Dropsies, the reason why this makes you totally awesome, so you want to play 3 of it. This is where my build differs from a lot of people who may be interested in this deck. I played 2 Lampsies. You want only to play 2 of the other Prank Kids because it is kind of bricky, just opening them up. But you also have so many options in the deck. You have 2 Lampsies, 2 Roxies, and 2 Fansies. You have so many options in this deck to fuse into the Invoke fusions, or you can go into the Prank Kids monsters. So you're usually good with just 2 elves because they are recyclable, and that is usually perfectly fine for you. At most, you may be banishing 1 or 2 for your Alistair combos. If not, then you go into Prank Kids combos and the world goes round. So I think 3-2-2-2, funny enough sounding, is good enough. Ratios may be, may mess with the ratios later on, but right now this looks fine for me. 2 Drawlocks, 2 Ghost Ogres, and 2 Ash Blossoms for my hand traps. I run a 2-2-2 line in this deck because I don't want to see 3 of Ashes, because it's not, it's obviously a once per turn. Same thing for Ghost Ogre and Drawlock, even though it's not a once per turn and you can chain it if it gets called, you don't really want to see 2 of them in your hand. This is fine for me, especially in a combo deck. Otherwise, I may cut Draw out and add in 2 other cards, like maybe 2 Polymerizations or 2 King of the Swamps or something. But I think this is fine because, again, I'm not always going first. I want to negate their boards. I want to make sure they're not being able to play the game either, and that's why I run that line of monsters. Following that, we have the fusion lineup. I would say is 3 instant fusions. You have 2 targets. You have Raijin in this deck, and you have the Rocket. You have Weather Watcher as well, but you don't go into him as much, if at all. We have 3 Invocations. The reason I run 3 is because you're using it as polymerization too. The best hand you could ask for in this deck is opening up Roxies and any other Prank Kid with Invocation. Fusion them from your hand. Use Roxies to send an Alistar to the Banish Zone. Use Invocation in the graveyard, recycle back Alistar. Then you can get Invocation back to your hand and use it again for another card once you link away. And it's just insane what you can do with this deck. It really, really is. Just because of this one card, Invocation. Next, I play my field lineup. 2 Terraforming. 2 Prank Kids Place. I'll explain why in a second. And 2 Magical Meltdown. I only run 2-2-2 because I don't want to see these as often either. It's good to see once in a while, but you seeing it too often is a bad thing as well, and they're also once per turns. In a deck that you run so many field cards, you don't want to be overburdened with them. And because I run 2 different field cards, I also run set rotation. I may bump Prank Kids place up to 3, I'm debating on it, but this has not done and hasn't started me wrong yet. So this is usually fine for me. At least in terms of my field lineup. In terms of Prank Kids cards, we have Prank Kids Pandemonium, because you won't always get Invocation in your hand, and this is searchable. And 1 Kids, Prank Kids Prank. The only problem is, again, you use it, you can only special summon Prank Kids monsters, but again, sometimes that's all you really need. And following that, we have 3 Call by the Graves. Again, this is still a combo deck at the end of the day. You want to get your combos out there. And the one-ofs is 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Book of the Law for your Invoke combos, and 1 Upstart Goblin, because again, we want to play 39 cards and not 40, and you're fine with giving them 1,000 because you can gain 1,000 and burn them for 500. Let's go into my extra deck really quickly and speak about it. So you're running a lot of fusions in this deck. It does hurt if you get Dimensional Barriered, so let's go ahead and talk about it. We have 1 Makaba, 1 Raijin, 2 Purgatrio. You're running so many fires in this deck. it's kind of, it feels bad not playing 2 Burger Trio. You're just playing so many fire options. Even the token you get is fire. So it's just like, you get so many great options. That is the Invoke lineup. I may be considering running another Raijin. You only play 1 Makaba because your only light target really is, whatchamacallit, is Ghost Ogre, which sucks, but again, hopefully they have light targets, so that's what you're going for here. For the Prank Kids Fusion, 2 Rocket Ride, 1 Weather Washer, 1 Battle Butler, Recursion, Raigeki. That's it. I don't want to play more than that. I feel like that's fine in terms of a combination deck. For the links, we play 1 Alistair the Meltdown. Great because you could do so much. Well, I guess Alistair, Invoker of Madness. You can do so much with him. It's just fantastic. You can use any of the 2 prank kits to make him. You can also just use Alistair on a prank kid. You just have a lot of options, and it's always great because you can also use him as invocation fodder. Next we have 1 Bow Wow Bark because I don't want to play 2. I do play 2 Doodle Doodle Doo in this deck. It comes up enough, but you need only 2. I don't feel like 3 is good. Even in pure, I don't like 3. 1 Aurora and Roaster because again, I don't like all the guys. Going first and then wiping their board on their turn is amazing. And then 1 Borload. He gets his own screen. Boral Sword is a... not Borload. You can use Borload if you don't have a Boral Sword. I get it's an expensive card. Boral Sword is fine. I actually like Borload a little bit more because you take their monster then beat them down with it. And then finally, 1 XC. You're playing 1 totally awesome. Really easy to make. That's why you're playing 3 Dropsies, I believe it's called. I was gonna say Rainsies. Yeah, 3 Dropsies. Let's talk about extra side deck really quickly and I'll explain my choices why. I play 2 Cyber Dragons. If I'm going second, I don't want to lose from an extra link or just having them have a good extra monster zone. So I would also side in Chimera. I would take out maybe like Totally Awesome for this if it's needed. It just depends on what the situation is looking like, but more enough, I don't go into this enough, but it's still good to have in my opinion. 2 Gamma Seal. Don't like certain monsters in this deck. Not in this deck, in decks, so I want to get rid of them. Getting rid of Colossus is really nice, or Titan, because Titan is a very big problem in this deck, in terms of like invocation the portion, but otherwise, you're good. Through 2 Pankatops, because again, get rid of like Rivalry or Gozen. I mentioned a lot about why I put this in my pure variant of this deck. Spells, we have 2 Mind Controls, again going second, taking their monsters, always fun. 3 Twin Twisters, because again, back row sucks. And 3 Red Reboot, because again, back row sucks. And that's honestly it for my build. If you have any questions, let me know. This is like the highlight card, honestly. I've been playing Invoke for a while now, and just having 3 copies of this in a deck that can use it for more than just Invoke monsters is insanity. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time with some test hands. So take care.